Welcome, my friends, to a Dots review. It is the big message board where you can create your own designs. Set number 41952 came out this spring, and there are indications that this may actually retire by the end of the year, which is kind of a bummer. Unless they're planning on coming out with like just a different color variation, which would be fantastic. I think that Lego should keep something similar to this on the shelves if possible. You've got to think that for kids and a lot of the dots, the adults that really love the dots like myself, or you should say, and I'll showcase it in a second, the hashtag DotSquad out there, folks. That this is a good one for a nice. You could probably do a good afternoon. So for $40 to do a nice activity that you can continue to build and rebuild over and over. Although who knows, kids are probably not that motivated to do that. That this isn't too bad. So one thing, just as I kind of go over this official review, this is the extra dots pack. So I've got this on kind of a comparison palette so we can take a look at the different colors that are included. I will say, in terms of advertising, they do showcase most of what you get. So you get a ton of the squares in both the light purple, the white, and then the coral pieces. You do get then the yellow, and then in green as well, that there's squares. The rest of it, so the not blue, I forget what color that is. You only get wedges, and I would say there's not really, you really do have to switch up the colors if you're doing lettering. And I'll showcase that in a minute. So it's not like you could write a huge sign of all one color. You definitely would run out, depending on the style of writing you use. Like if you use the single writing styles, then you'd be okay. If you use the blocky one, you'll run out of parts pretty quick. So that's probably the only shortcoming, although as we get to the back of this, we will see that they've remedied it by you can boost up your part counts with some extra packs. Plus, if you were previously had purchased these, you could do okay. Although there's only one pack that had the squares, so for a lot of the lettering, the squares are required. So this isn't going to really help out. Although you could, at least you could have some dot varieties, and that's probably the other thing, is that there wasn't really any variety. It's really just squares and wedges, really, ultimately, for all the lettering. And then of course you do get the great parts for the trim, and then there's awesome parts for behind the scenes. So let's get into it. As you're going through the instructions, let's see here, let's open it up. There you go. So a lot of different really cool ideas. That's the one thing I would say, is that there's just idea after idea on things you can do in these instructions. So there's the kind of the showpiece right here. Then they give you, okay, from a build standpoint, you get four blue plates, some corner pieces, and then enough to kind of frame out the entire piece. Some hangers, and then these are just reinforcements on the back. So you have to kind of go through, you build that out. Then once you have this completed, built out, and they give you different ways that you can kind of build out, then they start getting into some ideas. So this could be pretty fun for a lot of kids, or if you're just a big fan of pizza, you could do that. But just a lot of ideas to really showcase this. And then you can go vertical or horizontal. Here's a bunch of vertical ideas. Then let's see. Oh, you can also create just a big square is another option. So here is one that they gave. You need a little bit different configuration for that. So we'll skip through that. I did not choose to go big square. And here's some ideas there. So these you can actually do with the parts that are included, which is nice. Then what's great, and you'll see that I chose this, which is a really parts intensive way to go. So I probably could have done differently, but I just felt like it would really pop. But it gives you kind of an alphabet chart, so this would be really good for those to kind of do the sayings. Here's another option. So that's pretty cool. That's kind of that 3D look that they kind of were showcasing up here. And then here are some smaller letterings. I've done the small letterings before. They look nice for sure. You can pack a lot of stuff. Then, one of the things, you really have to do some math. And so in my video, so if you check out my building video, I kind of had to do some of the math. I didn't even get it completely right, but it still worked out for me. And then last but not least, they kind of go over like, hey, if you use these boosted sets, you can do some extra stuff, right? So you get a couple more color boosts here. There's another one I think it's called message board. Just straight message board. And then there's obviously this is the pack that it's included, the 41952, and it shows, hey, you can do some pretty cool things with these. So I don't know, that's okay. Kind of wished maybe there was a little bit easier way to get dots. The other way, if they would put them on Pick-a-Brick Wall, this would be pretty awesome. So of course you have to hashtag .yourworld. And it's good that they've got boys and girls, so they're not, being partial to girls. All of the coloring schemes are kind of, I would say, a little bit partial for that. So we'll set that aside. The only thing I did come with, it came with the, this is very useful for popping the tiles off. For some reason, I got an extra one of these, which is great. I love these. This dark gray is awesome. And I went ahead and made my first hashtag DotSquad. There we go. So that was a lot of fun build. I probably should do some a little bit decorating. Maybe I'll do that at some point. And again, this isn't the best representation of everything. I would say this is, outside of some extra wedges, I think they gave you too many wedges, to be honest. If they would have given you maybe like, I don't know, maybe a little bit less wedges and more of the squares, that would have been awesome. That really would have helped. Because I feel like, like this is all squares. So that's pretty intensive. You're going to run out. I literally had to change the color, although this turned out pretty cool. Because it's a nice transition. There's 4 letters, a middle, and then another 4 letters, and then with the exclamation point. So that was a pretty sweet thing. Here's the box, and this gives you kind of like a better idea of, if we could even see it. Let me raise it up here. This gives you a better idea of kind of the different colors. So they're kind of weird if you think about it. You've got this coral, which is great. This is kind of a light purple. I don't know. I think maybe even like a dark purple would have been better. I don't know. Or why didn't they maybe start with some of the primary colors? I don't know. But then they went yellow, green, and then there was just a ton of these blue wedges, which I don't know. I just don't get, like 106 of those. Like, what if they just did 40 of those and then just beefed up on white, and where's the black? I don't get it. Maybe I'm missing something with no black. That would have been really nice, or a dark gray or something. That's kind of a miss. But just, even the box art itself gives you a lot of inspiration, just on the front. So ultimately, this was kind of, for me, this is part of just kind of beefing up for a gift with purchase back in spring. I think I got one of the Easter chicks or something like that, or Easter Bunny gifts with purchase plus. There may have been double VIP, something along those lines. So it was a nice little get, and then it was kind of fun to build this out, and then I really have, I really got. I don't know what I'm gonna do with it, but I now have just a ton of these yellow and green squares and wedges. So it was okay to get that, and again for $40. So you don't have much time. I'm assuming these will be on sale. You might be able to get a deal on these. You never know. Check your Michaels too, because Michaels had some dots in the past. Walmart, Amazon, and others. I've been noticing the booster pack is now on sale for $16. I think 20% off, something like that. I imagine that Black Friday and for the holidays, this is going to be a pretty good one where they're going to kind of be able to clean out their inventory and get some quick sales from parents that want to have like a nice craft over the winter break. So this is definitely a solid set. I'm glad I've added it to my collection. I had a lot of fun tonight building this out. So thank you so much. If you've made it this far, make sure to like, subscribe, and we'll catch you on the next video. And go DotSquad. Let's go. Till next time. See ya.